Welcome to the innovative Camerascii platform, a digital space where creativity becomes a unique visual experience. Here, the environment captured in real time by your webcam transforms into an artistic universe composed of symbols, characters, and dynamic effects. It is an interface specially designed for those who enjoy discovering new forms of digital expression. Moving forward, the first thing you will find is Camerascii's main cover page. Its background features a surreal animation of a female character, an artist highlighted by the paint on her face. She represents the soul of the project, a figure wrapped in the very essence of the platform, constantly shifting between the real and the digital, revealing multiple visual manifestations in real time. On the left is Camerascii's official icon, the minimalist silhouette of a webcam whose lens is an @ symbol, a graphic metaphor for what the site represents. Its slogan, "Let your camera express itself in symbols," says it all. At the top, you will find a horizontal menu with different options that will appear one by one. It is essential to understand the composition of each section of the platform so you feel comfortable before pressing the Start button and diving into its functionality. The first button in the menu is Context, where the purpose of the platform is explained clearly and subtly. It offers a carefully crafted introduction that helps users understand the site's intention, accompanied by decorative animations and visual examples based on the effects that can be generated. The background, with soft colors and symbolic Camerascii patterns, complements the aesthetics of the space. The second option leads to a page featuring samples of visual effects available on the platform. These can be explored easily using the side arrows, allowing users to understand the visual aspects the tool offers. Later, when exploring the interface in real time, each effect will be explained and tested. The video guide page provides a visual tutorial to help users quickly learn how to navigate and use the platform. Social media buttons are available as well, like on any modern platform, each linked to their respective profiles. You will also find a button that returns you to the beginning of the cover page, ideal for navigating comfortably. It is essential to present the important information of the website, such as the terms and conditions. By selecting this option, you will be redirected to a separate page where every necessary point for the site's operation is clearly detailed. The privacy policy explains the process of data handling, although this platform requires very little to operate. The DMCA copyright notice section provides standard information based on the United States model, even though each country has its own regulations. Finally, as with most platforms, you will find the Contacts section, which includes relevant information for technical support or business inquiries. Once you have explored the cover page and all its elements, the most important moment arrives: pressing the prominent Start button. Here, you will discover the interface that gives meaning to the project and begin the experience that Camerascii has specially crafted for you. Welcome to the interface where the main machinery is located. What truly defines this website? As you can see, this interface is made up of buttons, panels, and other essential elements designed to surprise the creative user. Do not be fooled by its simple design. When this interface is up and running, you will see that it has much more to offer. First of all, I will begin by showing the simplest feature, such as dark mode. Most platforms and domains include it, and it works like this. Its transition from light to dark tone is something most people already know. Now I will show the language menu. Note that it is a detailed list to choose the option that best suits the user. The primary option will always be English. Observe the text under the interface, all rights reserved, and see how it transforms into different languages as I change them one by one. The most spoken languages of the moment were selected. For now, it is set to English. Let us continue with the action. What remains now is to enable most of the main functions that form the soul of the website. But what is needed to achieve this? On the left side of the interface, there is a moving red indicator between two black windows that points to where to press. It is none other than the button to activate the webcam. Without the webcam activated, its functions cannot be used. I will use a character model generated by artificial intelligence to test the webcam. It is an attractive character representing the average young digital native who is looking for creative means for their content. As you will notice, most functions have been enabled, as well as the panel needed to display the artistic elements transformed from the webcam projection. You will notice the silhouette of the character made up of all kinds of characters. I will use the zoom function by moving the mouse wheel to show what the result is composed of. You will notice that I start with the basics so you understand where I want to go, but it does not compare to what will come next. This is the maximum zoom level allowed. With a double click, I return the panel to its original size. The first function to use is the aspect ratio menu. As its name indicates, it shows the dimension options we want to apply to the graphic panel. I try them one by one so you can see their proportions. Each aspect ratio preserves the character's dimensions in the webcam without deforming it. The larger the aspect ratio, the more characters will be used and the sharper the character will appear. For now, I leave the 9:16 option, which most people use for short videos on platforms like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok, and others. I will use the second most important function, the character selection menu. Each chosen option is reflected in the panel. It is now on the ASCII 1 option, made up of ASCII characters. And the characters are seen moving according to the character's real-time behavior. I open the menu, and you will see the great possibilities: symbols, scripts, numbers, and Unicode characters. It is a long list to choose from. Each option is a world. The idea is to try each one to find the preferred setting. A good result also depends on the state of our webcam transmission. The lighting of the environment, the camera angle, and other variables play an important role. Using dark mode can provide a more comfortable perception for some character options. I will test each of these options one by one. One thing to keep in mind, there are other tools that I will show later which will help optimize the appearance of the characters to obtain projections faithful to the user's tastes. Each of the other options is a different world, like switching channels on TV. In this last option, designed to place custom characters, I will do an example. I will type something in this field to vary. This is an open window for users who are not satisfied with the variety of options in the menu. I maximize the zoom and you will see how it is composed. The buttons are placed above the panel to provide visual harmony and convenience when using more functions. Without further ado, I will leave it on the Blocks 2 option, which shows a desirable contrast and is the one I will use to demonstrate the other functions. An aesthetic complement is the function to thicken the characters in bold mode, as in text programs. Some character options will show this effect more than others. In any case, it will affect the characters. It is a matter of trying each one. Here you will notice the change. It is a help to give the characters more volume. Next, you will not be able to resist using the custom coloring tools, which most users will try to create content on their platforms. It is a set of buttons that will make a difference and motivate digital content artists to use them. If you have any questions about each button, you can use the question mark for more information. I start with the color palette to color the panel background. Best of all, it does not consume additional resources. I bring the panel closer, and you will notice the beauty of the movement combined with the assigned color. Even when using dark mode, the background color is preserved. Here you can add the color code you prefer, RGB, HSL, or hexadecimal. Now comes the most interesting part. We have already tested how the background color changes, but what if it changes automatically and randomly? There is one important clarification. The following effects are not recommended for people with photosensitive epilepsy, so consider this a warning. Look at the beautiful synchronization. A single color is not enough to personalize this panel. The transition progresses without issues. The webcam movement remains in real time without delays. The website maintains its normal performance. But guess what? The effect is not enough. So I implement smoothing in the transition between colors to give the panel a more attractive and organic touch. Hypnotic, isn't it? The transition time between color and color is 1 second, 1000 milliseconds, as shown on the screen. If this time does not satisfy us, we can easily change it with the slider. I speed the transition to the maximum. The change is evident. Now I slow it down to the limit, and the transition becomes more gradual. We have already moved on to changing the panel background color. Next is changing the color of the characters. It is the same procedure, so there is no need to explain it in detail. In dark mode, the color is preserved. The transition remains hypnotic, but pleasant. The smoothing applied to the characters gives a perception similar to that of the background, but keeps its originality. I test the transition time at maximum and at minimum. We can also combine the background color effects and character color effects at the same time, achieving an interesting and psychedelic result, ideal for creating content. And still, the performance remains intact. Remember the warning for people with epilepsy. The important thing is the comfort of using these functions and increasing the chances that they will be used continuously. The next function is simple. Change the characters randomly with their respective time editor. It uses the same transition principle employed with colors, but applied to the characters. As you can see, it works smoothly and can also be combined with the background and character color effects without issue. What can I do to preserve progress? By recording videos and other alternate options. The 3 buttons below are used for these tasks. Start recording, stop recording, and activate the microphone. They are related to the icons in the middle right part of the interface, which I will explain later. First, I make sure that the background color and the characters are appropriate. I will do a brief recording example. I click Start Recording. The time indicator in the lower left corner displays the recording duration. I stop it, and as you can see in the player, the newly made video plays automatically. I expand the screen and play it to demonstrate that the player works correctly. The video is cropped top to bottom by the screen recorder. I will do another demonstration with a different background. Then I go to the Download button in the middle right. We can choose to delete the recent video with the small button or download the video directly. First, I will use the download button. The progress bar shows the estimated time to prepare the video. When the bar fills, a window automatically opens to choose where to save it. I press Save. Video saved. I open the folder, double-click, and here it is. It plays with the same duration set on the website. Now I will record another one with the background color transition effect, following the same recording and download procedure. When a video is recorded and not desired to be downloaded, next to the download button, there is a small button that, when pressed, deletes the video and restarts the system for a new recording. The time has come to test the microphone. I activate the button and start a short recording. I finish it, and I already have the audio track incorporated. I test the volume control in the player to verify that the audio works correctly. When I enable and disable this function, the sound reacts properly. The same happens when I lower and raise the volume. I download the video with audio, open it, and the sound is identical to that of the player. I want to take a photo or capture of the panel. With this button, it is possible. It will be saved and downloaded as a PNG image. I open the image to check its quality. I perform the same test with a different background color. Next is the button to download the characters as text. It only works when the character configuration is active. I save the text and open it to see the result. Here is the character portrayed in a text editor. It looks narrow due to the editor's spacing between character and character, but this result is normal. The next function will be an exception. I will apply an aspect ratio different from the preferred one, and then I will explain why. This aspect ratio is the one that will be used to give the panel a special effect. First of all, if you have doubts about each option, there is a button in the upper right corner with the close symbol or question mark icon. When pressed, a guide appears explaining the function of each button. In the function to be used, the characters will take on the color of the pixels from the webcam feed itself. I proceed to activate it. Watch the webcam and the panel closely. This effect projects the same colors of the character without additional variations, only the original colors. However, there is one detail to clarify. A lower aspect ratio was applied so that the effect runs smoothly, since it can consume additional resources. On modern devices, you will likely notice fewer limits. I consider this function experimental because the future challenge is to make it faster and smoother without performance loss or excessive resource consumption. On this website, when there are functions that consume many resources, a button with an alert symbol will appear in the upper right. Pressing this button displays a message warning about the consequences of using that function, recommending that it be used at your own discretion. With that in mind, if this function is used with a larger aspect ratio, it will consume more resources than normal. It is expected that on modern computers and browsers, it will be more optimal to use these heavy functions more easily. If it does not provide the required performance, try using a different aspect ratio. Finally, and still noteworthy, are the experimental functions I will present, which give the website a different face. Remember that this configuration is experimental and needs to evolve over time. In the character selection menu, below the options shown at the beginning, there is an internal menu composed exclusively of icons. Emojis of all kinds, colorful, expressive, and fun, like those we use in social media messages. I will have to use a low aspect ratio for the demonstration because it could consume more resources. Here I go. This is the result, a projection composed of moving emojis, accompanied by the warning I mentioned earlier. I use the zoom to closely examine the quality of the emojis. Any aspect ratio can be used, taking the warning into account. When emojis are used, additional functions are enabled, such as static or intermittent icons. A single icon per cell represents static mode, while several icons alternating in the same cell represent intermittent mode. All of this can be observed at this moment. With a high aspect ratio, the character's projection becomes sharper, composed of this vast ecosystem of surprising graphic elements. Do you remember the automatic character change function? I present its emoji icon equivalent with its time calibrator. I will take a risk trying other aspect ratios. It would look like these ways. The shape of the character appears more defined. On modern devices, the experience will be even smoother, improving interaction with these icons. This concludes the demonstration of Camerascii features. I hope the experience has been to your liking, despite the peculiar details I have shown and explained in detail. Remember that this project was created with the help of ChatGPT's artificial intelligence, a demonstration that AI can be used to create interesting projects like this.